Hello and welcome to the video. I'm Matthew and we're looking at question 4 from the 2021 Leaving Certificate Learning Level Paper 1. This is a 30-mark question on algebra. It starts off quite straightforward but gets a bit more difficult in part B, however nothing that's too complicated. So let's get started. Part A is worth 10 marks and it wants us to solve an equation. So remember, when we have to solve an equation, the keyword is solve, and that means that we have to work out the value of the variable. In this case it's x, but of course it could be, some other variable, y or z, but here it's x, so let's give it a go. So we're going to multiply out both the brackets, and then we can use our knowledge of algebra to work out then the value of x. So let's give it a go. So the first thing we do is 4 times by 2x plus 3, which will give us 8x plus 12, and then minus 7, and that's equal to 3x minus 15. And we can clean it up a bit on the left hand side, so that's 8x plus 5 is equal to 3x minus 15. So now if we minus 5 and minus 3x on both sides, we'll get 8x minus 3x is equal to minus 15 minus 5, which will leave us with 5x is equal to minus 20. So now we're going to divide both sides by 5, which will give us x is equal to minus 20 over 5, which is the same thing as x is equal to minus 4. And that's our answer. Okay, so we've solved the equation and we've gotten that x is equal to minus 4. So that's our answer for part A. So now let's move on to part B. Part B is worth 20 marks and it's asking us to solve the simultaneous equations. Now just be careful here, as the equation on the bottom has an exponent in it, so it's x squared plus y squared is equal to 49. So just be careful of that. This isn't a normal simultaneous equation. You can't just solve like we would normally do it. It's a different way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write the top equation, 2x minus y is equal to 7. In terms of x's. So then we're going to minus 2x from both sides, and we get minus y is equal to 7 minus 2x. And we want the y to be positive, so we're going to get y is equal to minus 7 plus 2x. And now we've written it in terms of x, and we can put in our value for y into the second equation. So we did have x squared plus y squared is equal to 49. We now have some value for y, which is minus 7 plus 2x up here. We're going to pop that in for y, and then we'll only have x's in our equation, and then we'll be able to solve for x, and then with our value or values of x, we'll be able to work out a value or two values of y. So now we're going to have to square the minus 7 plus 2x, so the x squared will stay, and then we'll get some minus 7 plus 2x squared is 49, minus 28x plus 4x squared. And that's still equal to 49. Now the 49 on the left hand side will cancel with the 49 on the right hand side, so we can cancel both of those. And then we're left with x squared plus 4x squared, which will be 5x squared, minus 28x is equal to 0. So now we're going to have to factorize 5x squared minus 28x is equal to 0. So get the highest common factor, which is just going to be x. And it'll be x outside of 5x minus 28. And that's equal to 0. So now we can write that as x is equal to 0 and 5x minus 28 is also equal to 0. So we can tell straight away that we're going to have two values of x. So the 5x minus 28 is equal to 0. So if we solve that, we'll get 5x is equal to 28, and then x is equal to 28 over 5. So there are our two values of x. So now we have to work out our two values of y for those values of x. So the first thing we're going to do is at x is equal to 0. So then we're going to have 2 times by 0 minus y is equal to 7. So then we get minus y is equal to 7 and y is equal to minus 7. So that's at x is equal to 0. So now let's have a look at x is equal to 28 over 5. So we get 2 times by 28 over 5 minus y is equal to 7, which will give us 56 over 5 minus y is equal to 7. So if we minus 56 over 5 from both sides, we'll get minus y is equal to minus 4.2. And then we can get rid of the minus on both sides to give us y is equal to 4.2. So there we have our four answers. So we have x is equal to 0, x is equal to 28 over 5, y is equal to minus 7, and y is equal to 4.2. This part of the question was worth 20 marks, and that is also the last part of the question and the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching.